How's it going, everybody? I wanted to give you some quick tips on grilling. Not sure if you can see it from there or not, but I prefer to use a charcoal grill. It just gives your meat and whatever you're grilling more of a smoky flavor. And so I use lump charcoal. I don't use the little briquettes. I use actually wood that's been burned down to basically a charcoal form. So other people use gas, whatever is your preference is perfectly fine. We all have our own, and I'm not going to say one's right or one's wrong. I just prefer using the charcoal grill. One advantage over that gas may have over a charcoal grill is that you're able to maintain a consistent temperature a little easier than with the charcoal grill. I've kind of messed around with this thing enough now that I can hold a pretty steady temperature. So it takes a little practice, but once you get it done, it pays off. Okay guys, so I've been letting my coals get hot and everything, and you can see down here they are pretty much spread out pretty even there. I'm not grilling a lot of chicken, so I didn't need to use that many coals, but you just want to get it nice and heated up. Roughly, I'd say a medium heat with chicken, so I can hold my hand over it a couple inches above the grate of the grill and not burn myself. So that's pretty much how I tell if my grill is hot enough. You can do that same thing with the gas grill. And the next step is to put the meat on the grill. Okay, so you can see I have the chicken spread out on the grill now. Some flames are flaring up because of the oils that are on the marinade. But now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover the grill, and I'm going to let that meat sit on there for about 6 minutes before I even think about doing anything else with it, flipping it, or checking on it. So I set a timer for 6 minutes and just let it grill. Okay, so it has been 6 minutes now, so I'm gonna take the lid off, and you can see the chicken is gonna still be raw on the top. So we're just gonna go ahead and flip that over. And what I do here now is some grills have hot spots. Generally my grill is hotter in the center just because of the charcoal and everything, and it tends to just be a little warmer in the center, so I'm going to rotate the meat around. Then the thicker pieces of chicken I will keep in the center a little bit longer as well. So then once I get all that flipped around, then I will just go ahead and put the lid back on. And with the lid back on, this grill, you'll see the temperature gauge right here. It's going to heat up, and it's anywhere between 300 and 350 degrees once it's fully heated back up to temperature. When I take the grill lid off, obviously that releases the heat and the temperature gauge goes down. But I'm going to set my timer for another 6 minutes. Okay, so another 6 minutes has gone by. I'm gonna go ahead and uncover the grill again. And the thing that I'm looking for on the chicken at this point in time, I know everybody has always said, you know, chicken needs to cook for at least 20 minutes and everything like that. I think that really depends on what temperature you're cooking it at. But I like to check my chicken more often than others, perhaps. And what I'm looking for is, if you can look down in there, you can see that is obviously not done. So I know that at least that piece needs a lot more time here. So I just go ahead and flip that over. Now this piece is a little bit thinner, and I generally don't cut them in half and take a look at them, but for the video I will. So to me, now that center cut in there is clear. The juices coming out of this piece of chicken are clear. So I'm going to just give it one more flip, and then I'm probably going to remove that here in a minute. I just don't like to overcook my chicken. The thing with cooking it on a grill too, or on a grill with charcoal versus a gas grill, is that on a charcoal grill you're going to get a smoke ring on your chicken or any meat that you cook, and so it's going to kind of be, you'll have a pink ring around the top part of the chicken, and that's just where, and you can kind of see that here, this meat that's on top here, see this meat here on the top at the end of my point, or the spatula, that's actually pink, and that's from the smoke ring, whereas the inside of the chicken is white. So the inside is done, but that there's a nice pink smoke ring around it, which brings a lot of flavor out in the meat, and it's really good. A lot of times you would not get that on a gas grill, or at least with my experience cooking on a gas grill, I really never got that. So there's these three pieces of chicken here, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna leave on the grill longer, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove the rest of it. Okay, so when I remove my chicken and put it on a plate, what I do is I cover it with aluminum foil and make sure that it's sealed around the corners of the plate. What this does it actually, people who grill a lot and everything, they say that that's allowing the meat to rest. So as funny as that sounds, at first I was like, what are they talking about, letting the meat rest and everything? But what it does is it just lets the meat finish cooking. It actually does continue to cook once you take it off the grill, and by doing that and keeping it covered, you're allowing the juices to be, absorbed and resorbed into the meat, and it actually ends up giving you a more tender cut of meat, which I'm now going to cover with aluminum foil. That's another tip that will give you a more moist meat. Whatever meat you're cooking, this works well on to cover it and let it rest. One of the questions I get a lot is, how long do you let the chicken or whatever meat you've cooked rest? And that really depends on what meat it is and how, the temperatures that you've cooked it at. I generally will let chicken sit covered, like you see right here, anywhere from I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes, and that seems to be good for chicken. Other meats I will let rest covered for anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how big of a portion it is, or how much meat I've grilled, and the type of meat.